Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the day two of the stock market internship program. I hope you all had a great learning experience in the first session and are excited for the today's session as well. Am I right?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Anish Dixit. In short, if you want to introduce myself, I'm basically active stock market trader, investor, and also advisor for my clients. I'm in the stock markets for more than 12 years now. So on a day-to-day basis, if you ask me, yeah, I do trade, I invest, and I also advise my clients for their investments into stock markets. So this is a favorite area of me. You can say capital market, stock market learning. I also go to various colleges, MBA institutes to train the capital market subjects, equity research, options trading, and so on. So yeah, so I'm also excited to teach you this subject since you're all young students. And yeah, I heard in the first session about your enthusiasm and your eagerness to learn the stock market's concepts. So meanwhile, if in the session, if you have any doubts, you can put it in the chat box or ask. We can take it at the end of the session, or if we have time in between the sessions, also we can address your queries. So let's start with the today's sessions. In the first sessions, I guess you guys learned about NSE, BSE, right? And a little bit of introduction about the stock markets. Isn't that so, right? So what do you remember? What is NSE and BSE? Anybody who remember? You can just type or whatever in the chat box. What is a National Stock Exchange and what is a Bombay Stock Exchange? So yeah, these are indexes, that is okay. Yeah, so one is a national stock exchange and one is a Bombay Stock Exchange. Yes, someone has written NSE is Nifty 50, top 50 companies, absolutely right. And Sensex is basically a top 30 companies of index, which is a Bombay Stock Exchange ka index. And Nifty is basically representing National Stock Exchange, which is a top 50 companies index. If you just want to go and check the websites, here are the websites. So if you come to this website, you will see this is NSE. So right now, what is the level of Nifty live trading session? 23,287. So if you want to go and check what are the live company live tracking of stock prices or what is the Nifty level right now, you can go to neseindia.com. यहाँ पे आपको all the details will get it to show what is the open rate of today, what is the high of today. And if you go to any other broker, let's say if you come here, since I'm an active trader, yeah, it's my everyday task to usually check the all the stock prices, tickers. So if you go and log in your broker account, here also if you click on the Nifty 50, you will get a chart. So this is basically a chartical representation. And in that you can select 5 minute, 10 minute, 1 minute. So every 5 minutes there is one candle and accordingly you can observe the chart for the today. So here if you click today, so this is the date 10th of June. So this was the first candle of the day and this is the live candle of the day right now. As you can see a stock market Nifty 50 index, first it went up a bit today and then now it has again came down a bit. So depending on n number of factors, let's say right now there is a war going on between USA and Iran. So there are updates from the war coming. There are some domestic news sometimes are coming. There are some other factors like oil prices or FI selling that also are coming. So accordingly, the prices of the stocks react, and also there is a earnings season. So you might have heard that after the result, particular stock prices went up, or after a result, particular stock prices went down. So in the stock market, mostly the companies and whoever the investors who are tracking the companies, they are interested in the results of the company. Because ultimately, in the long run, the highest amount of profit or revenue the company will perform, those kind of stocks will go higher and higher again and again. So ultimately, result season is very important for the stock market. And yeah, every analyst, every investor, they keep a track of the results of the company. So in our Indian context, if you ask, there are 4 quarters. First quarter starts from the April to June. So in India, we follow a financial year that is April to March. So right now we are in the first quarter of the new financial year, that is 26-27. So first quarter will get over by 30th of June, and after that, in next 1 month, the first quarter results will start updating. But right now, there was a year end in the March 31st, and few companies are yet to publish the results because it is a year end. Sometimes they delay their publishing their details because entire year of data they have to consolidate and put into as a result. And also after the results, they also have to publish the annual reports of the company. So these are one of the few important documents, if you ask me, which are important from the investor's point of view. So those who are investor or those who want to invest in company, they first go to the annual report and try to read about the company. What is the company that we want to invest into? What are their products or services? What was the company's financial performance in the current year versus last 2 3 years? Are they increasing their revenues? Are they increasing their profits? So, n number of factors, mathematical number wise, you can also say. And there are some qualitative measures also, that what is the promoter, how the promoter background is, how visionary they are. These are some of the factors usually investors look into whenever they try to invest in any company. And also one more point is, there are few people who are act like a trader, and there are people who are investors. So depending on the perspective, if there's a trader, they will try to invest by checking these kind of graph, the graph in front of you right now. You can just go and check, see what kind of movement is there. So this is nothing but called as a technical analysis. So technical analysis is nothing but analyzing the charts for the medium to long term, or you can say short term to medium term kind of a trading. So those who are into trading, technical analysis is the tool for them. And those who are investors and want to invest for a long term, fundamental analysis is the key. So in fundamental analysis, typically investors would want to evaluate a company. They will understand the business model of a company. If it is a service-based company or a product-based company, what kind of products or services they are, what is the condition in the market with comparison to their competitors in the industry, how they are performing, how their margins in the business versus how your margins of your company in the business. So, a number of factors one have to look whenever you're understanding or trying to evaluate a company from a fundamental point of view. So, two things: quantitative analysis, that is analyzing the numbers, and qualitative analysis. Qualitative is nothing but understanding the brand of a company in the market, what are their competitors, what is their brand value, what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses versus what are the competitors companies weaknesses and strength in the market, and brand equity, of course. So after evaluating all qualitative and quantitative factors, then the investors decide if it is a stock fit our long term basically investment, or it is just a short term trading bet. So depending on the nature, it is basically decided that we are taking this stock as a trading bet or we are keeping it as a long term bet. So that is nothing but fundamental analysis and a technical analysis. So now a few basic financial concepts also will again look forward, and then again we will go to the stock market bias. So yeah, few economics concepts you might have heard. Inflation. Yeah, how many of you know what is inflation? The definition is here. It is the general rise in price of the services or the goods which you are purchasing. Yes, you have heard of the inflation, right? Can you name the inflation? Anybody of you can just type कि inflation क्या है? आपके लिए inflation क्या है? You can just type the answers. If some item you'll be able to buy at, let's say, 100 rupees, and now it is slightly higher. So is it an inflation? Yeah, rise in price is okay. If someone can give me an example. Yes, someone has written milk, gold, inflation, petrol, right? Maggie, yes, nice. Cylinder prices, right? Perfect. So yeah, you have a fair idea about the rise in prices. So yes, you have written petrol, gold, milk, right? Maggie, someone said. So right now, yeah, like 4 or 5 years around, Maggie was around 10, 11 rupees, right? Now it is around 15 rupees, the smaller pack you get. So 50% rise in the Maggie prices also, very correct. Milk, I guess right now, if you go and buy a cow milk, it is around, I think, 75 rupees, around 76 rupees or 80 rupees maybe. I think 5 years back it was around 60, 65, that kind of a range. Also, gold prices we have observed right now. The gold, if you ask standard rate, is around one lakh 40,000. It was like around 75 to 80,000 in 2022. I think that was right. So yeah, what is inflation? Basically, the definition as it the general rise in the prices of the goods or services which we are trying to buy. It reduces the purchasing power. What does it mean? So if any item or any good or service you can say, if you are able to buy it at 100 rupees 4 5 years ago, let's say petrol was around 98 97 rupees. Now it is 111 or 112 rupees. 1 or 2 rupees here and there can happen according to the states. So here in Mumbai or Pune, it is around 112, 111. Few years back, it was around 100 rupees. So 10 to 11% petrol prices have also increased. Milk prices have also increased by around 25 to 30% in the last 5, 6, 7 years. Similarly, whenever you go and observe, you go to restaurants to eat. So if you buy a pizza 4 5 years back, it was around 200 to kind of range. If you say Domino's, now if you go to Domino's, the similar kind of a cheeseburger pizza, you will get it around 400 rupees. So pizza prices or whatever, dosa, pav bhaji, whatever food items you go and eat in the hotels, they have also increased the rates from around 200 to 350, 400 rupees in the last 5, 6 years. So this is nothing but a inflation. Generally, whatever the prices of your consumed goods or services, if you are taking, the prices are increasing year by year. This is happening because of the inflation. Then what is the GDP? It measures gross domestic product is the full form. It is nothing but it measures the economic activity. You might have heard or read. How many of you read any kind of a newspaper? Yes, anybody who reads newspaper, you can just type. Okay, someone had said Hriday said me. Which newspaper you guys read? Times of India, good. So yeah, if you want to interest or have knowledge about a bit of, let's say, interested in the economics, you can go and try to read basically economic times. There is a portals like Mint or Money Control is there. So if I have to show you just now, you just go and type Money Control. So it is again, those who want to track the stock market news, you can just go and log into the Money Control. It is also a good site to track all the news. See, Sensex fell 500 points from the day's high, Nifty is near this. So all those kind of news related to the stock market, you will get to see on the Money Control or the Mint or Economic Times. To improve your understanding of economics concepts, Economic Times is also good. Make a habit that at least 15 minutes a day you take out for your reading and improving the knowledge about the overall financial concepts. So you read 5 to 10 minutes on the Money Control, 5 to 10 minutes on Mint or Economic Times. That will be perfect. So once you read it 1 or 2 years down the line, you will start synchronizing the news. If the stock results came just now or today, 2 days back, and how the stock prices have reacted to the news. एक stock का result आया, that stock went up 5 6% up, or in the other case some stock market news came and that prices basically went down by 5 6%. So once you spend 1 or 2 years, you will try to correlate these things, ki how one of the news item is related to the stock price movements. So yeah, as an exercise, start doing it, and once you spend around 1 year or 2 year time reading all the news, interpreting, then you will be able to understand how stock prices are moving and which kind of news will impact the stock movement or overall sentimental movement of the stock market. So right now the major update is basically Iran and US war, and because of that, oil prices are going up day by day. So that is the most important news right now. And whenever as you might have read, India is dependent entirely on the imports of the crude oil. So all our petrol, diesel, these are the products basically which are derivatives of crude oil. And 80 90% of the crude oil is imported from the other countries. So now we import from Russia, we import from the Gulf countries, we import from a few other countries as well. So when we import the crude oil, if the crude oil price, let's say 5 months back, crude oil was $70 per barrel. Now those prices are 110, 120 per barrel. So now our cost of crude oil have also increased by 50, 60%. So gradually now the companies have started to pass on that cost to the consumers. Earlier, because of many factors, government was creating those losses and they were not passing it to the common consumer or end consumer. So now, day by day, they have started slightly increasing the petrol prices or gas prices, LPG, as you said. So now, because of that, also in the next few months, you will see inflation will rise. Because let's say a restaurant owner who was getting a commercial gas cylinder at 1500 rupees now is almost 3000 rupees, almost 100% increase in the commercial gas prices. Similarly, commercial diesel that also have been gone up by 25-30%. Petrol prices have also gone up by 10-11%. So if you are a business owner or you're a restaurant owner and your basic needs like this cylinder prices, you want your people to go out grocery, buy vegetables, food items, and then come back. So all these prices, if are increasing, then ultimately that person also will increase the prices of your restaurants or whatever business they are running. So that is nothing but overall inflation. If one of the commodities in the economy are increasing, it gradually will start to increase the other prices also, because that business is consuming those as a raw material, and then because their prices of production are increasing, they will also pass on the benefits to their end consumer. So this is nothing but a cycle. So if one part of the economy is increasing their prices, gradually other sectors of the economy will also start increasing because of the cascading effect. So that is nothing but inflation. What is GDP basically? Anybody? What is gross domestic product? And it measures what? If anybody knows or heard of GDP, you can just type. Yes, anybody heard GDP? क्या होता है GDP? Yes, we have few answers. Gross domestic product, right? Some of the and is measures the economy of a country. Total market value. Yeah, see, right, good, good. Nice answers. So gross domestic product is basically in overall country, how much of the goods or services have been produced or consumed. That is nothing but a total economic activity of the country. That is gross domestic product. So you can say all the goods or services combined together, how much activity in particular year we have added. That is the GDP growth of that particular country for the particular year. उसको बोलते हैं gross domestic product. So if you want to calculate the entire country's GDP, yeah, you add basically all the goods or services that have been consumed in a particular year. That way you can find gross domestic product. And if you want to find out the growth, you compare it with the previous year. Let's say previous year your GDP size was, now India's GDP size is close to 5 trillion. Let's say maybe around 4.8 or 4.9 trillion, that kind of figure, dollar basically. That is our figure. Last year, maybe it was slightly lesser. Right now, if you say 6 to 7% is our GDP growth rate at the moment for India, it is one of the highest in the world with this kind of a size. Yes, someone has again written it is a based on goods and services produced and consumed in a period in a country. Right, perfect. So yeah, GDP size is different than. Then we also have a stock market valuation that is also around 4.5 to 5 kind of trillion. Yeah, someone had said 3.9 to 4. Yeah. GDP figures, yeah. There are few sites which will have a slightly various result. Maybe you can say around 4 trillion is the size of the GDP. And if you ask the market capitalization of our overall India, that is around 4.5 trillion. That is these are the current figures in India right now. We also got past to 5 trillion in the stock market valuation. But yeah, since last 1 year, the markets have fallen. So now we are again back to 4.5, that kind of market cap of our Indian market. And yeah, which is the country with the highest GDP right now or highest market capitalization in the world? Anybody? USA. Yes, United States of India. Their total market cap of United States right now is around 60 to 70 trillion dollars. So almost you can say ours is slightly less than $5 trillion. So it's mostly you can say 15 times higher than the India. And who is the second highest after USA, which is the bigger economy? China. Again, right? Good answer. Chinese size is also close to right now 20 trillion kind of a figure, and we are around 4.5. Russia is not there. Russia's economic size is still less. So as an exercise, you can try just Google it or try to find out which are the top 10 economies in the world, or maybe top 10. Third was India, but yeah, there are few countries which have overtaken us in the last few months. Right now, Germany is there. Now Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. These market capitalizations, they have surpassed us right now in the last 6 months. Our markets have slightly dropped in the last 6 months because our stock market crash, you can say. But yeah, Japanese share market, Taiwan share market. Taiwan is basically, if you have read the news, their market has gone up because of the semiconductors. So all the semiconductors which are required for AI kind of a technology, they are in the Taiwan based. So Taiwan market also went up recently. We're talking about the market cap. Overall economy wise size, if you go, yes, so the first is USA, then China, Germany, Japan, that way. So one is the economy wise and one is the stock market valuation wise. So that way you can try to find out maybe as exercise, and next session you can discuss. In one method, you have to find out the only economic size of a country. So if you just Google it or Gemini or any kind of AI, tell me top seven, eight, or eight countries with the economic size or GDP size. And in the second part, you can just check what are the top market capitalized countries in the world. So maybe two, three answers here and there will happen because stock market valuation is different thing, and they go hand in hand. But yeah, in some cases, recently you have seen this Taiwan has gone up suddenly. Taiwan's economic size is not that much, but yeah, their market capitalization of the stock market, it has gone up rapidly in the last 6 months. So you can just try to find out कि first six seven countries कौन से हैं in case of GDP figures and as well as stock market valuation of the overall country. That way you can try to find out that just as a exercise. Maybe later in the next session we'll discuss again. So yeah, GDP, as you rightly said, overall value of goods or services produced or consumed in the country in that particular year. Then yeah, economic growth creates opportunities. Why? Because if the GDP of a country is increasing, is nothing but it what it means, the country is growing year by year. If last year your GDP was, let's say, 4 trillion, next year it is 4.5 trillion, then yeah, there is some kind of a growth in the country. All the good growing nations, if you observe, employment createness or employing opportunities are more in those kind of countries. And on opposite to that, if you go to a countries where GDP growth is very minimal, 1%, 0%, 2%, if you go and check their economy or their stock markets, they are non-performing markets. So if people basically don't have much options to invest their money in any kind of businesses, activities, or so on. So growing economy is an indication of a good GDP growth, and it produces a lot of employable opportunities to the youths of the country. That is very important. Now, few more concepts: compound interest and importance of investing early. Yeah. So what is a compound interest? You might have studied it in maybe sixth standard or so, fifth or sixth standard. What is a compounding interest? Anybody? Albert Einstein also said it is the eighth wonder of the world. It is a very important concept in case of the investing. Yes, here is the formula in front of you. A is equal to P into bracket 1 plus R raised to N. So what is A? Can anybody tell me this formula? What is A? What is P? Money multiplies, right? Interest on interest, that is also okay. The rising of money every year, okay. Algebra, right? So what is A? What is P? P is basically principal. Yes, A is the amount. R is ROI, right? Perfect. So basically, if you want to find out, let's say if you have hypothetically observed, let's say anybody of you have 10 lakh rupees with you and you're investing in any kind of a mutual fund, let's say, or a stock market, which may give you a return of 10%, and you kept this kind of investment for 5 years, what will be your amount? Can anybody calculate? Your starting amount is basically 10 lakh. Your return of investment may be around 10%, and you keep it for 5 years. What will be the answer? N is basically 5 years, we are saying. N is the number of years. Yes, anybody can do mathematics? Yeah, someone has written 5.5 lakhs. Sure. No, no, we are calculating our initial starting amount is 10 lakh rupees. So P is equal to 10 lakh rupees. Our rate is basically 10% and number of years are 5. Yes, anybody? Only one answer, two answers. Yes, two more minutes. If you guys can find out. 55 lakhs is not the right answer for sure. आपका 10 लाख का 50 लाख हो नहीं सकता 5 साल में. Amount of interest we have taken is 10% and 5 years basically. Yes, so right now we have got the answer 6 lakh 10,000. Correct. So if it is not A basically, it is the amount. So amount will be 16 lakh rupees, close to 16 lakh rupees. So how do you calculate it? So basically you have to find out A, right? You can find out it as an exercise also. So this is 10 lakh rupees. This is 1 plus R. What is R? R we have taken as a 10%. Maybe you can take 0.1, basically 10%, and raised to N. N is 5. So this is how you calculate. And then just do the mathematics part. Rate of interest I told na, 10%. In mutual fund or this concept, if you want to quickly calculate, you have some tools. This is of course mathematically I asked you. In the exercise in the home, yeah, you have to find out GDP figures of top 5 to 10 countries and stock market capitalization of top 5 to 10 countries. And this is the second task you can do. You can take maybe a figure of 5 lakh, 10 lakh, 15 lakh, and with different kind of interest rates, you can try to find out what will be the value after 5 years. That also you can do as exercise so that you can quickly, what you can say, brush up your mathematical skills again. So yeah, in case of stock market or mutual fund investment, you already have CAGR or reverse CAGR calculators. So if you just type reverse CAGR calculator, if you don't want to spend so much of time on doing this, let's say your first figure is 10 lakh rupees. CAGR, interest rate is 10%, number of years are 5. So it will give you the figure. So this is nothing but a reverse CAGR calculator, 16 lakh 10,000. This is the answer. It's basically your A. And in reverse, if you want to find out what is the actual return you got, so then you calculate it by the use of CAGR calculator, compound annual growth rate. So let's say your initial investment was, again, so one is reverse CAGR calculator, other one is CAGR calculator. So let's say your starting value if was 1 lakh rupees, your ending value is 5 lakh rupees. Maybe in 10 years, your money have become 5 times. 1 लाख का 5 लाख हो गया आपका 10 साल में. तो आपको कितना कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट मिला? So this you can calculate by using CAGR calculator. So in this case, it is around 17.4 CAGR. So in this formula, how would you have calculated this? In our PPT, see, I asked you this question in the other way now. Let's say your A is basically 5 lakhs. Your P was 1 lakh rupee and number of years was N 10. So what is R that you have to calculate? We already got the answer by using the CHR calculator. But yeah, as a homework, you can also try to find out. Just if you want to brush up your mathematical skills, try to find out A, try to find out P sometimes. So it will basically brush up your mathematical skills and knowledge again. So yeah, but in case of mutual fund, stock market investments, you have these tools handy. If you don't want to spend too much time on mathematics, you already have these calculators. So reverse CHR calculator will give you how much amount your will be. आपने अगर 1 लाख 5 लाख invest किया है, and if you are expecting 10 to 15% those what kind of return, that figure you have to put here. Initial amount आपको यहाँ डालना है, and how much year you want to keep your investments, that you have to keep here. So again, I'll give you an example. Let's say if you invest ये क्या है, 10 लाख है, 10 लाख रुपीज आपने इन्वेस्ट किया, आपको एक 12-13%, लेट्स से 13-14% आपको रिटर्न मिल गया। एंड इफ यू हैव केप्ट दिस फॉर 10 years, हाउ मच अमाउंट यू विल गेट? 37 lakhs, right? So this is how basically you can calculate CAGR and reverse CAGR. These are the handy tools whenever you basically go in the stock market or mutual fund, those kind of investments. So you just have to type reverse CAGR calculator. So reverse CAGR calculator on the Google, it will give you some kind of links. You just have to put the starting value जो आपको starting में invest करना है. Maybe you can take 12 to 14% of the return, and then how much years, it's up to you, 10, 15, 20 years. So usually whenever we take the session for the long term investment, we try to show it to the people that if you keep your money in the mutual funds or stocks for, let's say, 20 years, 30 years down the line, how much amount at the time of retirement you will have. So basically, entire motive of showing them is कि how much corpus you will able to generate at the age of retirement. अगर किसी ने 25वें साल पे स्टार्ट किया and maybe they are working for 30 years, so you'll see a magical figure. Let's say 10 lakh, you got some 13% interest, you can say, maybe not interest, return of stock market, you can say. And if you keep the money for 30 years, तो आपका 10 लाख का कितना हो जाएगा? Check the figure now. Yes. How many digits? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is basically almost close to 4 CR rupees. आपका 10 लाख का 4 करोड़ हो सकता है in 30 years if you invest in any kind of stock market. Of course, the assumption we have taken is around 13% kind of returns. Nifty का overall average return 12 to 13% ही है last 20-25 years का. That's why I have taken 13 years. अगर आपको थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा मिल गया, maybe 1-2%, तो it will go to 4.55 CR kind of a rate. So motive is basically to tell you कि if you invest in stock market and keep your investments in good companies or any good mutual funds, and you keep invested for 4 5, not 4 5 years, like 25 30 years, so this is the amount you get. Earlier what we saw, 10 lakh rupees, same we got to 37-38 lakhs, but this is 10 times of that. Why? Because in earlier case the period was 5 years, 10 years. Now here we are looking for 30 years. So that is the importance of starting early. Yeah, the slide we are trying to understand, or basically, I'm trying to tell you the motive behind it is, if you start early, there is a huge difference between kind of wealth you can accumulate over the years. That is a concept of compounding. Because आपका first क्या होता है, if you have invested 1 lakh रुपी, अगर आपका 4 से 5 साल में पैसा डबल हो गया, तो you'll reach to 2 lakh rupees. Then again, after 5 years, if you are doubling your money, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16, and 16 becomes 32 lakhs. So that way you compound your wealth. That is why it is called as the eighth wonder of the world. So you keep multiplying your money, and after, let's say, 10, 15, 20 years down the line, whatever the amount you have invested, you have 40, 50 times bigger amount at your disposal because of the compounding principle. So that is nothing but a compounding interest, and that is why it is called as the eighth wonder of the world. Because yeah, if you go and check any of the famous stock market investors, you must have heard of Warren Buffett, right? Warren Buffett, you can go and check about Warren Buffett, Peter Lynch. In case of India, if you have heard the name of Mr. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, he died 2 years ago, but yeah, his personal holding value was around 50,000 crore rupees 1 or 2 years back. So why the investor became famous? Yeah, I think I got disconnected because of the Wi-Fi. I think I am back again. Yeah, you can see my screen now again. Yes. So yeah, we were discussing about compounding interest. So just go and read something about Warren Buffett, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala in case of India, or try to find out who are the famous stock market investors in India right now. Maybe on a Twitter or any kind of social media platforms if they are putting some kind of information. You can use it as a information to your learning in the stock market. So yeah, here again these few things we discussed for inflation. Yes, some of you pointed out rightly, milk, petrol, movie. So 4 5 years before, the prices of these items were different. In case of milk, we discussed it was around 60 65 rupees. Now it is around 80 rupees. Petrol was around 97 98 rupees. Now it is 112. Movie ticket is also 5 years down the line was around maybe let's say 150 rupees, and now it is around 300 350 depending on what kind of multiplexes you are going. So yes, so yeah, this is basically nothing but inflation and overall your GDP, your understanding of these concepts. Yes, any doubt here till now? Okay, sure. Now we'll go again to the different slide. Next point. Acha, assignment. So assignment is nothing but you try to find out top 7 to 8 countries as per the GDP size, overall GDP size, and as per the stock market valuation size. So top 7 to 8 countries, the one list will be GDP wise, and the second list will be stock market valuation, the stock market capitalization wise. With that, you can do as an assignment. Now, yes, we will go to the next part again. Now, again, we will discuss something about IPO. So, yes, so what is IPO? IPO is nothing but initial public offer. So, why do companies basically do IPO? That you first try to understand. So, IPOs क्या होते हैं? There are a few companies which are already in the stock markets and they are traded. I just have to, yeah, if you just want to check, I'll show you this. Yes, here you can see Reliance, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank. These are all the live rates of the companies. See, again, you just have seen this. So now, some time back, the Nifty was around 23,350. Now it is around 23,200 down. So around 100 points down from this level, 150 points. So this is how the markets are moving. Why? Maybe some Iran news again might have come. So market in the morning was here. It went up to here, 400 tak, and now it is again to 200. So there is again a fall in the market, mostly because of some news have flashed because of the Iran US tensions, or oil have again might have gone up. Something like that would have happened, which has caused the markets to go down again. So this is how, because of the news, the market is fluctuating nowadays. So yeah, what was I showing you? Yes, there are a few companies like this: SBI, ICICI, Bank of Baroda, Reliance, Infosys, TCS. They're already listed on the market and tradable companies. If you just click here, you will see the top 5 buyers, top 5 sellers. So buyer खड़ा है 746.85 पे, seller is at the 740. To list their company in the market, for them IPO is the route. So पहली बार जिनको मार्केट में आना है वो IPO लेके आते हैं, ठीक है, as simple as that. Those who are already listed, they don't need to bring IPO. अगर उनको, और मेन पर्पस क्या होता है IPO का? Of course you want to list on the stock market, that is the main purpose, yeah, but other than that, how many of you, I'll ask you a question, have checked this TV show Shark Tank? अपने यहाँ पे आता है. How many of you have seen some of the episodes of Shark Tank? So why those company founders go to Shark Tank? Because they want to raise money for their businesses, right? So they go, they pitch their ideas, and if the investors like their idea, they'll basically invest in the market or their business, right? That is the overall thing, right? So yeah, so main purpose of companies to go into the any kind of this show is basically to raise the capital. Similarly, when a bigger companies, those companies which you go and check in the Shark Tank, these are very small scale companies. They have just started with the business in the last 1 or 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. They are raising like 50,000, 50 lakh rupees, 1 CR, 2 CR. But yeah, whenever a company goes bigger, they raise money initially from these kind of wealthy individuals, that is also known as HNI or that kind of people. Then the second round, third round is basically venture capital firms or private equity firms. And basically after that, you have to launch an IPO. That is your the last stage. So IPO is nothing but when you want to raise significant amount, then you choose the route of. Okay, so yeah, we're discussing IPO is basically once the company is sizable, अगर company बड़ी हो जाती है, so they cannot raise 1 CR 2 CR because their revenues are already, let's say, 10 CR 15 CR or 50 CR 100 CR 200 CR. So those companies, they cannot go to Shark Tank or any kind of that model because their size is already big. They want to raise 1000 CR 500 CR, those kind of amounts. So for them, listing in the stock market is important. So IPO के लिए क्या है? There are few criterias whenever you launch IPO. Last 5 to 6 years of record profits and dividend paying company. You must have that kind of a size. If you want to raise, let's say, 500 CR, at least you should have a revenue of 2000 CR, 1000 CR, that kind of something like that. There are a number of measures they already have decided by SEBI. And once you submit your proposal to SEBI, if the SEBI clears your proposal, then you get a green light to launch your IPO in the stock market. So that is overall purpose of IPO. But yeah, the main purpose of the IPO is to raise the capital for the businesses. अगर एक कंपनी ऑपरेट कर रही है दिल्ली में एंड इफ दे वांट टू डाइवर्सिफाई देयर बिजनेस इनटू महाराष्ट्र मुंबई है अगर कर्नाटका है अदर स्टेट्स है राजस्थान है मे बी पश्चिम बंगाल है so if they want to increase their businesses in few other states they want higher capital, right? So for that higher capital, they go to the IPOs. So first they will go to Shark Tank kind of thing, then they will go to private equity, venture capital. But उनको अगर एक साथ ज़्यादा पैसा चाहिए, 1000 करोड़ रुपए चाहिए, the good way is to go to the IPO. So once they launch IPO, once the IPO is complete, then their company will also get listed in the stock market and it will also start trading. So to raise the capital for the business, the companies basically go to public. So it's called the public jana. So earlier it was a private limited company or whatever, and after IPO it is now a public company because it is listed on the stock market. That is basically the thing about the IPO. And once the company come up with the IPO, you can trade it in the exchange. So आपको IPO में अप्लाई करना हो तो आपको डीमैट अकाउंट की जरूरत रहती है. So this is nothing but a demat account. See, I've just shown you. This is a Zerodha demat account. If you go to here, you will get what kind of holdings. These are my live holdings. You can see I'm holding these kind of shares. अगर यहाँ पे आप जाओगे bids में तो आपको current IPOs जितने चल रहे हैं. These are the current IPOs going. You'll get to see 10 to 12 June price range क्या है, amount कितनी है. So this is nothing but an IPO. And number of things you can go and check. See again the market नीचे आ गया आज. Again the losses for the investors today. So once the war is over, then only the market will perform, I guess. Till now, it looks a bit different. So got it. This is nothing but a IPO listing gains. Yeah. So again, one more case study. One case study we already discussed. You want to find out top 6 7 countries with the economic or GDP size wise, and top 6 to 7 countries as a stock market capitalization wise. This list you are going to find out in just a 2 3 minutes thing. You can just Google it, you will get it. And a list IPO के listing gains में you can try to find out which IPOs gave you a good returns in the last 2 3 years. IPO में क्या होता है, कुछ IPOs आपको अच्छे रिटर्न देते हैं, कुछ IPO आपके पैसे थोड़े से इसमें भी डाल सकते हैं रिस्क में. तो रिस्क में जाने के रीजंस क्या होते हैं? पुअर बिजनेस मॉडल हो गया आपका, ज़्यादा वैल्यूएशन पे हो गया, मार्केट कंडीशन खराब है. सी राइट नाउ if you see not many companies are coming up with the IPOs right now. Why? Any reason? अभी 1 2 महीने में not many companies have come up with the IPO. Can anyone tell me the reason? क्या लॉजिकल रीजन है इसके बारे में? जस्ट थिंक लॉजिकली, अभी मार्केट कंडीशन कैसा है, क्यों नहीं आ रहे? यस, बिकॉज ऑफ द वॉर्स इज द राइट, and due to the war market is down, stock prices are not increasing much. Yeah, these are the right reasons. So main reason is basically a war. So because of the war, overall sentiment of the Indian market has gone down for last 5 6 months, and market be falling every day by day. So that is the reason there are not many IPOs coming. So we'll see when the market is at the high, that is the time most of the founders or entrepreneurs they will try to come up with the IPOs because they will get a good valuation. अगर अभी किसी कंपनी ने IPO launch किया तो they will get a high low valuation because of the fear in the market. So mostly they will try to launch the IPOs when the market is high. So that is why not many companies are coming up with the IPOs right now. Maybe you'll see by Diwali if the war is over in next 2 months. Again, the our market is also 26,000, 27,000 Nifty level. That is the time usually you will see that these companies are coming up with the IPOs again. So usually that is a cycle. Once there is a bull market, you will again see the participants coming, going, coming, going. So yeah, this is the nature of the market. Whenever there is a fear, there are not many players you will see to buy, and whenever there is exuberance in the market, there are n number of people available to buy. So that is the reason. So yeah, IPOs में whatever we are seeing is there are few good IPOs and there are a few bad IPOs. We also discussed primary market, secondary market. Secondary market is nothing but I showed you example. All the HDFC Bank, Reliance, ICICI Bank, they are already listed in the market, so that is nothing but a secondary market. And primary market is whenever a new IPO is coming, it is called a primary market. So that is the difference between primary and secondary market. Stock exchange ka you already know. It is a place where the stock prices or the people usually come and trade their securities. जैसे कि NSE है, BSE है, these are nothing but stock exchanges. This point also briefly we have discussed कि why do companies go public? Basically, they want a fundraising, ready marketability of their security. एक reason होता है. Ability to raise further capital is nothing but एक बार अगर आपकी कंपनी लिस्टेड हो गई तो there are n number of banks also which will come up forward to basically lend you money. You will get a fair price on the securities. मार्केट में कैसे एन नंबर ऑफ लाखों करोड़ों लोग होते हैं तो आपका एक फेयर वैल्यूएशन बन जाता है बिजनेस का इन टर्म्स ऑफ वैल्यूएशन. दैट इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द रीजन और वन ऑफ द यू कैन से इम्पोर्टेंस. कोलेटरल बाद में इफ समबडी इज होल्डिंग एन नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स यू कैन प्लेज इट और आपको उसके ऊपर लोन मिल सकता है अगर आपने आपके शेयर्स गिरवी रखे तो उसको बोलते हैं प्लेजिंग और कोलेटरल. दैट इज ऑल्सो बेनिफिट ऑफ लिस्टेड स्टॉक्स. So basically, these are nothing but some of the listing benefits you can say. Yeah. So हमने क्या क्या देखा इसमें? What is IPO? That we understood. IPO is nothing but initial public offer. Whenever a large companies they want to raise further capital for expansion of their business, they'll go public and launch the IPO. तो जिन लोगों को 500,000 2,000 करोड़ रेज करने हैं, they'll launch the IPO and then they'll proceed. वाई कंपनीज रेज मनी हमने देखा बिकॉज दे वांट टू डाइवर्सिफाई. उनको बिजनेस को बढ़ाना है. दे वांट टू इंक्रीज द कैपेसिटी ऑफ देयर बिजनेसेस. maybe if a bank is raising money you can say कि they want to open new branches. If Domino's is raising money you can say कि they want to open new stores in other cities, something like that. किसी को geographical presence बढ़ाना होता है, किसी को plant extra खड़ी करने होते हैं. So as per the nature of the business there are some needs to raise the money and because of that they go to the IPO for the public raising money. Primary secondary market हमने discuss किया. Yeah, in the risk and rewards in the next session also you can discuss. As the assignment you can check maybe last 2 years may you try to find out any good returns in the IPOs and any bad returns in the IPOs. Maybe last 1 or 2 years may you have to find out top 3 or top 4 examples. कोई भी 4 या 5 IPO आप ऐसे ढूंढो जिसमें आपको अच्छे रिटर्न मिले इन्वेस्टर्स को लास्ट 1 or 2 years में. And maybe any top 4 to 5 companies in which IPO the investors lost the money on the listing day. IPO जब आता है and when the first time it trades on the stock exchange जो पहला दिन होता है उसके ऊपर आप ये डिसाइड कर सकते हो कि फर्स्ट क्लोजिंग डे पे IPO ने आपको कितना रिटर्न दिया फ्रॉम द IPO की प्राइस लॉन्चिंग प्राइस से. सो एज द असाइनमेंट यू कैन डू दैट and then maybe the next session we'll again revise it. So आपको क्या क्या करना है असाइनमेंट में? First you need to find out top 6 7 countries with GDP wise, top 6 7 countries as per stock market capitalization wise, and the third assignment is IPO. आपको 3 4 ऐसे IPO ढूंढने हैं which gave investors good return in the last 1 or 2 years and top 3 4 IPOs जो इन्वेस्टर्स को अच्छे रिटर्न नहीं दे पाए विच लॉस द मनी ऑफ द इन्वेस्टर्स. दीज आर द 3 असाइनमेंट्स यू हैव टू डू. यू जस्ट हैव टू गूगल इट It will not take more than 10 minutes of you. You just have to Google it, and yeah, next session you can again check with me. Okay. Any other doubts till now today? What is IPO allotment? IPO allotment is nothing but when a company launches IPO, you and me will apply to the IPO, and किसी को IPO मिलेगा, किसी को नहीं मिलेगा. If that is nothing but allotment. So allotment is nothing but n number of bids. Let's say कंपनी के पास ऑफर करने के लिए शेयर्स है 1 लाख टोटल, एंड देर आर टोटल बिड्स फॉर 5 to 6 लाख शेयर्स. तो बिड्स अगर 6 लाख की है, 1 लाख की शेयर है, तो बाकी 4-5 लाख लोगों को नहीं मिलेगा बेसिकली, राइट. दैट इज नथिंग बट अ प्रोसेस ऑफ अलॉटमेंट. सो वो एक रैंडम बेसिस पे प्रोसेस होती है. सो बेसिकली हाउ मेनी पीपल विल गेट आईपीओ एंड हाउ मेनी पीपल विल नॉट गेट आईपीओ. दिस इज नथिंग बट आईपीओ असाइनमेंट. असाइनमेंट आपको सेंड करनी है या फिर यू कैन जस्ट कीप इट विथ यू नोटेड इन द नोटबुक. इन द नेक्स्ट सेशन स्टार्टिंग में यू कैन जस्ट इन द 5 first minutes वी विल डिस्कस इट. सेंड नहीं किया तो भी चलेगा. जस्ट फर्स्ट 5 minutes वी विल डिस्कस इट. IPO again. IPO again, what I can tell now, initial public offer is nothing but those companies which want to raise money for the business expansion. ठीक है. जिन कंपनीज को बिजनेस एक्सपांशन के लिए पैसे रेज करने हैं, those companies launch IPO in the market. This is nothing but IPO. उनका मेन जो रीजन रहता है दैट इज द रेज कैपिटल फॉर देयर बिजनेसेस, एंड वंस द कंपनी raises the IPO money, it is basically listed on the stock market. So once it is listed, it is called as a part of a secondary market, and when the IPO is launched, it is called as a primary market. So that is only the difference. So companies are required to give some amount for its allotment. कंपनी को allotment देने की जरूरत नहीं है. You and me are the investors. We will allot the money. अपने पैसे ब्लॉक होते हैं 4 से 5 दिन के लिए whenever you apply for the IPO. And if you get the IPO, you get the shares in the demat account. And if you don't get the IPO allotment, आपका पैसा जो है वो रिफंड हो जाता है. अब आजकल कैसे वो ब्लॉक, मतलब जस्ट योर UPI ID आपको डालना होता है. इट इज बेसिकली ब्लॉक्ड इन योर ओन अकाउंट. अगर आपको आईपीओ अलॉटमेंट मिला तो फ्रॉम योर अकाउंट दैट मनी विल गो टू द कंपनीज अकाउंट. दैट्स इट. बहुत सिंपल प्रोसेस हो गया आज का. जस्ट फ्रॉम योर ऐप और योर वेब पोर्टल यू कैन अप्लाई टू द आईपीओ. इज एज सिंपल एज दैट. Investors have to give to the money for buying the IPO. Yes, that is right. Investors like you and me, you will apply for the IPO. From our bank account, the money will keep blocked. And if we get the allotment from our account, the money will go to the company's account. So that way, company will raise the money. जिन लोगों को मिलेगा उनके पैसे जाएंगे, जिनको नहीं मिलेगा उनके पैसे वैसे रहेंगे. Simple. Minimum age for the trading in the stock market is 18. So if you want to do mock trading or something, you can do it from your parents or your whatever your then accounts. Those who are 18 plus, maybe your siblings or your parents, whatever. So yeah, till 18 you'll have to wait. There are a few minor accounts, but yeah, those accounts have some kind of restrictions. So till 18, maybe you can just, as good students, you can ask your parents or your siblings who are 18 plus or those who have already accounts. You can just ask them, ki, I want to see the demo, I want to study. So that purpose you can do it. Or there are some online mock investment platforms that you can try to expertise. Trading account is made at 16. You can check. There are broker to broker different things. But you can trade right now also, but you can't withdraw in your bank account the money. That is the thing basically. So unless you are 18, you cannot withdraw money. But trading के लिए अभी also you can trade it. If you just go and log into your app, your parents' app account, you can trade, right? Ultimately, in your own name, you can't withdraw money till you're 18. That is the case. Right now, you can go and trade on your parents' account or siblings' account. That is possible. Minor accounts भी आजकल open होते हैं if you are 16 or so, and but you just need some kind of elder person's signature on that as the guardian. But yeah, assignments का yes, top 6-7 countries economic size GDP size wise, and top 6-7 countries stock market capitalization wise. That this is a one assignment, and then the second one is basically list out any 2-3 good IPOs which gave you investors good return in the last 1 or 2 years, and 3-4 bad IPOs which gave bad returns to the investors in the last 1 or 2 years. Yeah, someone is asking CDSL and NSDL was in the regulatory body, but how their shares were traded. See, CDSL and NSDL, these are the depository. So they are not directly regulators. They are your custodians. तो आपके जो डीमैट में जो शेयर्स रहते हैं, the job of CDSL and NSDL is to keep them separately as a depository. वो सेबी नहीं है. सेबी is the regulator. These are what you can say intermediaries. CDSL, NSDL, your brokers. These are all intermediaries which are part of overall broking systems which you are trading. So yeah, these now NSE and BSE is also listed. Bombay Stock Exchange. उसका stock भी trade करता है. This year National Stock Exchange का stock will also come in the market and list as a IPO. उसका भी IPO आ रहा है. So those apart from RBI and SEBI, other companies are already there in the market. So वो companies नहीं आएंगे IPOs में because वो government की company है, government body है वो RBI and SEBI. But otherwise these companies can come and trade in the market because these are the private companies offered by the investors. They just have to go public and launch the IPO. Because ultimately some of the investors have invested in them also and they also want to make money out of it. That is the reason. So assignment ka I will show you top 6-7 countries GDP wise and capitalization wise. Yes, someone has written it already. Identify the top 10 countries by GDP, analyze the economic gap between them based on GDP per capita. List the top 10 stock markets globally. Okay, this is also good. Primary and secondary market is nothing but when a company is launching IPO, it is called as a primary market. जब तक IPO है, तब तक primary market होते हैं. And once the IPO is over and investors get the shares, it will start trading in the secondary market. मतलब वो NSE BSE पे आ जाएगी. Then it is a secondary market. That is the only difference. Submit assignment, you can ask your coordinator. You can just, or maybe in the next session, initially we can discuss it. Till then, you can submit to your teacher or somewhere. You can ask them. Just a second. Yes. So I think the next session we are having is on 13th, right? It's on Saturday. Yeah. So you have 2 days in between. Just today you will have to have 10 to 15 minutes. Take out the 10 minutes and just do the assignment. You can submit it to your coordinator also. In the next session, in the starting 5 minutes, we will discuss it and then we'll go to the next part of the session. Okay. So yes, today I'm wrapping a bit early because I have to travel somewhere out of the town. So yeah, let's see you on 13th of June, guys. Yeah. Bye everybody, and thank you.
Yeah, Anil,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm back. So I will be taking just another 10 minutes.
Actually, you can take 10
Okay.
minutes. Fine,
Yeah,
fine.
I'll take 10. So you can carry on with your work
Okay,
because I
okay,
understand there is an urgent work. So you may proceed. Okay.
okay. Sure, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Students' assignment will be shared over the group, so don't worry. We'll share the assignment over the group also.
Friends, give me 5 minutes. I need to open my laptop system. Just give me 5 minutes. Yes, friends. Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am, you are all.
Yeah, so I have no PPT today because there is some system issue. So I'm unable to open it. So I hope मैं verbally ही बोलूँगी आप लोग को. Are you all okay? Because I saw a couple of questions and Anish is a wonderful trainer. Since today he's got some emergency, so he had to cut off and leave early, or else he would have of course addressed all the queries. So are you all okay like this? If I'm not able to share any particular PPT and just address to your queries. Wonderful. All right. Thank you. So this is with regards to couple of queries which I saw on IPO and like primary market and secondary market. Okay. So the objective of these two is of course earning and raising funds. So primary market, when we call primary market, it is very clear, it is initial public offering. So we need to understand now what is primary market and secondary market. ठीक है, अगर आपका ये दोनों क्लियर हो जाएगा तो आपको पता चलेगा फाइन वेदर वी शुड इन्वेस्ट, वी शुड स्टार्ट इनिशियली विद आईपीओ or it is risky or it is not risky, or we should directly, if you are comfortable with secondary market investment, you should go ahead with secondary market. Is it clear to all? It is low. Let me check. मैं मोबाइल से मैनेज कर रही हूँ. So can you all hear me? Okay, all right. ठीक है. So last time, friends, if you remember, I had taken one example of Avenue Supermart. Do you all remember? मैंने आप लोग को assignment दिया था. I think my colleague had mentioned 33. I think Refi madam, she is taking a count and she is making the list. So 35 to 35 students have already submitted, and many of you have done really wonderful job. I mean, mentioning many products name, not just one. I mean, I think many students have mentioned 5-7 products of one company, which is really very good, and you all have done very well. So anyways, अनिस सर ने आपको जो असाइनमेंट दिया है वो मैं पोस्ट कर दूंगी ग्रुप में, आप अकॉर्डिंगली वो ट्राई करो. सी बिकॉज आप चैट जीपीटी में टाइप कर दोगे या आप जेमिनाई का हेल्प लोगे या आप गूगल का हेल्प लोगे, आप सबमिट करोगे, वो नहीं चाहिए, राइट? आपको हमें ये चाहिए कि आप कितना समझ पा रही हो. जस्ट राइट वन लाइन, बट इफ यू आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग, ठीक है, दैट इज योर ऑब्जेक्टिव. जस्ट डोंट रैंडमली कॉपी पेस्ट एंड सेंड. देयर इज नो पॉइंट. डीमार्ट, एब्सोल्युटली राइट, इट वाज डीमार्ट. तो हम लोग ना एक केस स्टडी करेंगे डीमार्ट का, so that you know what is IPO. Is that okay? Again, no promotion, nothing. The reason I'm doing DMart because we all know it. Correct? ठीक है, ठीक है. So initial public offering मतलब ये, this is the word. If you see initial public offering, पहले बार public, like we are investing somewhere. Initial, your first stage of entering any sector. So that's the reason the name is initial public. Public मतलब लोगों से पैसा ले रहे हैं. So initial public offering, we are offering, right? We are giving. आपको जबरदस्ती नहीं कर रहे. You are offering. So this is why it is called IPO, initial public offering. The objective, जैसे सर ने mention किया था, I believe Shark Tank का, if I'm not wrong, private equity venture capital and all. ठीक है, these are the smaller level. लोगों को बहुत पैसे चाहिए होता है, and when people need money, like for example, if you need money, अगर आपको पैसा चाहिए, यशवी, अक्षरा, हुनर, I mean anybody of you can answer. देवम, गरिमा, if you want money, आप किसके पास जाओगे? And the money you need is at least say 1 crore. 1 crore you need in today's time. Whom will you approach? Tell me. You have nothing. You bank. Okay. बैंक सेज के मैडम आपके पास आपके नाम का कोई प्रॉपर्टी नहीं है और आपका एजुकेशन तो ऑलरेडी कंप्लीट हो चुका है एंड यू वांट फॉर सम बिजनेस. सो फाइन, अगर आप कोलैटरल कुछ हमें देते हो, आप कुछ गिरवी रखते हो, बेस्ड ऑन दैट ऑफ कोर्स यू मे गेट और मे नॉट गेट. फ्रेंड्स एंड फैमिलीज, अक्षरा, 1 crore, टेल मी ऑनेस्टली, विल दे गिव यू 1 crore? फ्रेंड्स एंड फैमिली, बी ऑनेस्ट. HNIs, they are high net worth individuals. We can get some amount from family relatives, some amount startup incubators if I need it for startup. Absolutely. Yes. So basic, absolutely. So it is actually practically not possible. आपको अगर 1 CR चाहिए भी, आपको बैंक को अप्रोच करना होगा. Now when the amount goes say 1000 crore or 100 crore, for example, now it becomes a very riskier part to bank whether we can give it to him or not, him or her, anybody or not, based on the business model, right? अभी आपको 1000 crore चाहिए, आपको 2000 crore चाहिए. Now there is a way to get the money. अगर आप बैंक के पास जाते हो, you may get, of course, I'm not saying you will not get. बैंक ने 4000 crore भी दिए हैं, 2000 crore भी दिए हैं. 4000 crore अगर आप देखोगे, if you see some scams, you will see कैसे people have run through. ओके, वो उसको एनपीआई, बैंक ने एनपीआई डिक्लेयर करने के बाद, यस, तो ऑफकोर्स बहुत सारे बैंक्रप्सी हुआ है फाइल, पीपल हैव नॉट एबल टू पे. तो बैंक डिफॉल्टर्स होते हैं, ठीक है, कंपनीज में डिफॉल्ट, कंपनीज में नॉट वर्क, और इसका रिजल्ट किसको भुगतना पड़ेगा? इन्वेस्टर्स, दोज हु हैव इन्वेस्टेड इन दैट पर्टिकुलर कंपनी। तो बैंक के पास अगर आप नहीं जाओ, आपके पास क्या ऑप्शन होता है? आप सेबी के पास जाओ, सेबी के पास से अप्रूवल लेके आप आईपीओ रेज करो। मतलब फॉर आई जस्ट गिव वन थिंग। अभी समझो देवम देवम ने कहा कि आई वांट टू स्टार्ट एन कंपनी, like we have Dell, HP, बहुत सारे companies we have. So maybe you want to, Devam want to manufacture mouse pad, with mouse pad free रहेगा और mouse. So he got a beautiful project and some digitalized, ये wireless होगा and many option it got. ठीक है, इसमें speaker भी होगा mouse में, बहुत कुछ होगा। तो ये ऑप्शन देवम हैव दिस आइडिया, और दैट आइडिया वर्क इन हिज एरिया, इन हिज सिटी, इन हिज स्टेट, इट वर्क। He had progressed so well in 4-5 years that now he want to have a multiple companies in different states or district, and he want to multiply his money. He need money. Now he need money because he is doing well. The option which he sees or he finds good is लोगों के पास से पैसे उठाओ, क्योंकि मैं ऑलरेडी थोड़ा फेमस हो चुका हूँ थ्रू इंस्टाग्राम, थ्रू यूट्यूब, XYZ मार्केटिंग स्टफ। अभी मुझे लग रहा है, लाइक देवम को लग रहा है, अगर मैं ये प्रोडक्ट ऑल इंडिया या ग्लोबली भी अगर रीच आउट कर पाऊँ तो शायद शायद ऑफ कोर्स देयर इज अ हाई ग्रोथ चांसेस टू मी। तो अभी देवम ने क्या किया? देवम ने आईपीओ रेस किया। अब देवम में डिफॉल्ट और मे नॉट, देवम के पास समझो 2000 करोड़ आ गया और देवम के पास XYZ प्लान से ही स्टार्टेड वर्किंग सो हार्ड के इन्वेस्टर ने जो पैसे 200 रुपया में शेयर लिए थे या आईपीओ में डाले थे, 200 रुपीज फॉर वन शेयर, वो पैसा बस 2-3 सालों में से 400 हो गया। ये हो सकता है, नहीं हो सकता है? पॉसिबल और नॉट पॉसिबल? तो पॉसिबल, राइट? यस। नाउ देवम के पास, जिसने समझो किसी ने एक शेयर 200 का, तो समझो 10,000 इन्वेस्टमेंट किया रहेगा देवम के कंपनी में, 50 शेयर्स मिले, और आज अगर आप वही 50 शेयर बेचने जाओगे आपको 400 रुपया मिलेगा, 400 रुपया एक शेयर का मिलेगा, तो आपका यही 10,000 20,000 हो गया। Of course it goes, it will, I will explain that part as well, Akshara. There are companies which is nil, zero now. ठीक है, आपने ये अभी रिसेंटली मैंने लास्ट टाइम मेंशन किया था ना, राजेश एक्सपोर्ट्स का, what had happened now, SEBI has sent the interim letter to them and they are liable to answer. So of course people are suffering already because the stock market, the share price have already fallen till 98-95 rupees per share. ठीक है, तो of course this will happen, this will impact. इसीलिए there are many things when we select the company we invest, you need to consider ample things. Start from the ratio, financial, technical. Only then you can enter or buy that particular company. It's not that easy. किसने बोला आपने ले लिया. So coming back to our point. So now, see, Devam got 20,000 in just 2 months. Devam can do so well in state if he keeps on, doing well, and if with all ethics, of course, with proper management, and he try to multiply his companies and he is able to justify the objective of when he had started, and he reached out to the companies globally, of course there is a chances of getting 100% return as well from him, from his company, correct? What if he defaults? Of course he may default. देवम के पास, आप लोग को पता था, मार्केटिंग ये सब देखे, स्ट्रैटेजी, आप स्टाइल देखे, आपने इन्वेस्टमेंट कर लिया, आफ्टर 6-7 मंथ्स यू गॉट टू नो आपने जो 200 रुपया दिए थे आज वो 90 रुपया हो गया। क्यों? बिकॉज देवम ने जो पैसे लिए थे वो ही couldn't do well, he couldn't perform well with your company. कुछ हो सकता है उसने शायद कुछ पैसे लेके अपने बैंक का लोन रीपे कर दिया होगा, शायद उसका 100 करोड़ का लोन हुआ रहेगा, उसने वो आपसे पैसे जो निकाले आईपीओ में वो पैसे उसने रीपे किया रहेगा, उसने कुछ दूसरी बिजनेस ट्राई आउट हो, स्ट्रैटेजी चेंज किया होगा, उसका जो बिजनेस इनिशियली प्लान था वो मॉडिफाई करके कुछ और में डाइवर्ट करे, एंड दैट डिड नॉट वर्क, एंड in that case your company, your money which you had invested, that money may come down, वो नीचे जा सकता है, possibility, ये possible है। and that's the reason factors देख के ही Anish will of course in the coming sessions he will explain some ratios, बड़ा ध्यान से आप attend करना, and he will teach some technicals also. So try to have more focus on fundamentals and of course in technicals so that you understand how to select the stock. So now coming back to this Avenue Supermart IPO success, I want to tell you how it got the growth story of the mart. The owner of that company is Radhakishan Damani ji. Okay? You can Google about him. And the best part of him, let me tell you why I always focus on the company का मालिक, company का जो owner है, उनका ethics बहुत बहुत ज्यादा मायने रखता है. अगर कंपनी का जो मालिक है वो उनका ही स्ट्रैटेजी, उनका ही मैनेजमेंट में लोग डिस्टर्ब है, लोगों को सैलरी नहीं मिल रहा है, बॉस अय्याशी कर रहा है, आपको लगता है दैट कंपनी विल ग्रो एवर? ऑफ कोर्स नो. जो एम्प्लॉय को पगार नहीं दे पा रहा है टाइम पे, उसका कंपनी क्या ही ग्रो करेगा. अब जाके देख लो ना विजय माल्या का कंपनी, आप जाके देख लो नीरव मोदी का कंपनी, यू गो एंड सी, यू वॉच आउट, देन यू विल कम टू नो ओके that was the loopholes and that they couldn't work out and then the company had to shut. So Radhakishan Damani ji is of course an investor as well, and the late, if you have heard Rakesh Jhunjhunwala ji, he was again he is no more now, so he is one of the famous stock investor and he had made billionaire, he has become, has made billions of rupees from stock investment. And his guru, if you say, he used to follow Radha Kishan Damani ji. So if you gotten a chance to try to read some books of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala ji, late Rakesh Jhunjhunwala ji, you will try to understand about his strategy, how he had earned from stock investment. So Radhakishan Damani ji, he is the founder of DMart. The company in today's time, last year when I had read, it was nearly 340 DMart stores crossing 72 cities in 11 or 12 states. I think now I believe अभी शायद 350 के ऊपर हो गया होगा. If someone can just check and let me know how many stores the DMart got now in today's time, or कितने states में they have reached out, because so far I remember it was 12 states and 340 stores. Can someone check how many stores does DMart got in today's time? You can just drop in the chat box. So the IPO 2017 mein, now they have wonderful. Yeah, I was assuming 450. Now they have done wonderful. I mean, almost 480 stores they got, reaching 13 to 14 states. They are doing a fabulous job, right? Because of course people need discounts. People need कि थोड़ा पैसा हमारा भी बचे, right? And in this way, even he is making money, and as well as even his investors are making money. If you see, it's win-win situation for both the ends. दोनों कमा रहे, वो भी कमा रहे across 12 states. Okay. So 2017 में Radhakishan Damani ji ने सोचा, he was already an investor. He was making money from stock market. Of course, no doubt in that. He was guru of many people, known people. He thought, why not let me, he had his own venture, of course, and it was doing so well. He thought, let me grow my business, let me raise an IPO so that if my company goes well, does well, even the investor who invests in मैं सामान का बात नहीं कर रही हूँ. I'm talking about the company share. Those who buy my shares, even they will earn, even I will get benefited because I will get funds from public. Public का पैसा जाएगा ना. तो उन्होंने 2017 में आईपीओ लेके आए, इनिशियल पब्लिक ऑफरिंग, पब्लिक के पास गए कि अभी हम डीमार्ट का एवेन्यू सुपरमार्ट डिसाइडेड टू गो पब्लिक. दिस वाज द हॉट न्यूज दैट टाइम बिफोर कोविड, and he wanted to raise some 1500 crore, but he had raised nearly 1870 crore in the IPO. So, and he approximately nearly, if I'm not mistaken, nearly 6 crore equity shares with a face value of 10 each he had built. So the per share उस वक्त was nearly, I will take 300, actually था कुछ 295 से लेके 299 का कुछ बिड रेंज था, तो मैं 300 रुपया ही पकड़ती हूँ अप्रोक्सीमेटली. ठीक है, तो उनका ये एक रेंज था, पर शेयर वो बेच रहे थे आईपीओ के बाद करी. अब आईपीओ में क्या होता है, तो आईपीओ में क्या होता है फ्रेंड्स, यू कैन नॉट, आईपीओ आप शेयर्स बेच रहे हो ना, See, आप सब्जी मंडी में जाओगे, आपने एक गोभी ले लिया, आपने 1 किलो गाजर ले लिया, आपने एक वो सब, दैट इज स्मॉलर अमाउंट, ट्रांजैक्शन छोटा है, 10 दुकानें मिल जाएगी, आप होगा। लेकिन स्टॉक मार्केट में ऐसा नहीं होता है। यू इन आईपीओ आप एक शेयर नहीं खरीद सकते, आपको लॉट में लेना होगा, क्योंकि खरीदने वाले करोड़ों में होते हैं, राइट। तो इसीलिए आईपीओ में बोला जाता है कि यू मे बाय दी शेयर्स इन लॉट। तो आपको होता है लॉट साइज। तो कोई कंपनी 15 शेयर दे देंगे एक इकट्ठा, कि आपको 15 शेयर खरीदना पड़ेगा। अगर 100 रुपए रहेगा तो आपको 15 तो देना होगा। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू एग्जाम्पल। अगर आपको से 215 का लॉट दे दिया, और उसमें एक शेयर का दाम 200 रख दिया, अकॉर्डिंगली यू हैव टू पे। तो डी मार्ट का शेयर प्राइस था 300 रुपया एक शेयर, और उनका लॉट था 50 शेयर का लॉट था। तो 50 शेयर का अगर लॉट है, 300 अगर कॉस्ट है, तो कितना रुपया होगा? 300 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 50, हाउ मच विल बी दी lot size of that allotment? Anybody? Write quickly. 300 into 50, 15,000। तो वो आईपीओ में जिसने बिड किया होगा, यस, यशवी गरिमा। तो जो आईपीओ में आप लोग को अगर जिसने भी बिड किया होगा, उनको 15,000, मतलब उनको मिनिमम 50 शेयर के लिए बिड करना होगा। वो एक दो शेयर, अगर आप बोलोगे अगर पैसे नहीं है तो मत खरीदो, आपको किसी ने जबरदस्ती नहीं किया है ना। नो बडी हैव फोर्स्ड यू टू बाय। एंड द रिजल्ट वाज, जब डीमार्ट का आईपीओ आया है, वो ओवर सब्सक्राइब से, बेसिकली ना, आईपीओ ओवर सब्सक्राइब मतलब अगर मैंने फॉर एग्जांपल एक मोबाइल एक डिस्काउंट में बेचने के लिए निकाला, और मुझे 2 टाइम्स ज्यादा उसका ऑफर मिला, मतलब पीपल हैव कम, इतना एप्लीकेशन, मैंने 10 ही एप्लीकेशन रखे थे, मुझे और 5 एक्स्ट्रा एप्लीकेशन आया, मैडम हमको भी लेना है। मैंने सोचा भी नहीं था कि उतना होगा, राइट, ये मेरे एक्सपेक्टेशन के बियॉन्ड था। और मोस्टली 2 टाइम्स, 3 टाइम्स, 4 टाइम्स होता है फॉर, हाँ। लेकिन डी मार्ट 100 टाइम्स, इट वॉज ओवर सब्सक्राइब 100 टाइम्स ऑन द फाइनल डे ऑफ बिडिंग, फॉर द टोटल जो भी बिड उन्होंने रखा था। एंड रिसीव्ड अमाउंट समथिंग 463 करोड़, एट इट वॉज अगेन 4.43 करोड़ shares issued for bidding. They have issued that much of shares. So once you see the DMart financials और IPO details, you will come to know कितने shares बेचे थे and how much amount he had bid. He had bid and he had actually got that money, and that was successful. ठीक है? Then, is it currently trading? Can you trade? Can anybody who got DMart account, can they trade? Yes. इन टूडेज टाइम डी मार्ट में लोग, अभी मैं एक एग्जांपल लेके रखती हूँ। गरिमा ने समझो 15,000 में 50 शेयर लिए थे 300 के भाव में, ठीक है गरिमा, जस्ट जस्ट इमेजिन। आपने 2017 में, या आपके पेरेंट्स ने, आपने बोला, आपको पता था, आपने बोला ये डीमार्ट ले लो पापा तुम्हारे अकाउंट में 15,000 का, ये करके आपने ले लिया। दैट वॉज दी आईपीओ योर डैड और यू हैड बिड। आपको वो मिल गया, जरूरी नहीं मिलेगा अगेन। आपने बिड किया, आपको मिल गया, हो सकता है आपको ना मिले। आपने 10 अलग अलग अकाउंट से बोली लगाई हो, आपको 10 अकाउंट पे नहीं मिले, तो ये भी एक ऐसा हो जाता है, या यू आर सो लकी यू गॉट इट। आईपीओज आर लाइक दैट, नॉट एवरीबडी। यस, एप्लीकेशन आता है, कुछ एप्लीकेशन रिजेक्ट होता है, कुछ एप्लीकेशन लोगों को मिलता है। तो अभी से गरिमा ने जो बिड किया था, गरिमा को 15,000 में 50 शेयर आ गए। इज इट करंटली ट्रेडिंग? Yes, it is. It is trading in today. Let me see. एक मिनट, हाँ, find the amount. Give me 2 minutes. Let me find the amount. आज के दिन में डीमार्ट का क्या रेट है? So I, yeah, ठीक है। तो देर इज अ फॉल, ऑफ कोर्स, ईरान यूएस का जो वॉर है, बहुत सारे स्टॉक हैव ऑलरेडी फॉलन। बहुत गिर के बहुत गिर गए, बहुत सारे स्टॉक गिरे, बहुत कोरोना में भी गिरे। इतना कुछ होने के बावजूद आज के दिन द शेयर प्राइसेस बिटवीन 4,000 टू 4,100 के बिटवीन में रेंज है। अभी तो मार्केट क्लोज हो चुका है ऑलरेडी। तो now Garima, you had 50 shares, you had invested 50,000. If I tell you सब बेच डालो, आपको कितना प्राइस मिलेगा? अप्रोक्सीमेटली 4,000। भरे मार्केट डाउन है, 4,000 में आप बेचे, 50 शेयर्स आपने खरीदे, तो आपको कितना मिलता है पैसा? कैन एनीवन कैलकुलेट एंड लेट मी नो? एब्सोल्युटली इट इज 2 लाख रुपीज. सो नाउ आपने इन्वेस्टमेंट किया था सिर्फ 15,000 और आपको मिला कितना है? 2 लाख रुपीज. आई एम टेकिंग 4,000 ओनली. You have got just 2 lakh rupees. So profit giving you profit of 1,85,000. Correct? So now going back to DMart. So why the DMart success so much? Can anyone tell me? अगर आप लोग सुपरमार्ट जाते हो, एवेन्यू सुपरमार्ट में गए हो, कैन एनीवन टेल मी आपने उसका मॉडल देखा है क्या? डिस्काउंट मॉडल में दे रन एब्सोल्युटली because they wanted to create the synergy for the company, so that's the reason they are leading into success, and this is the growth. Now you can trade. अब गरिमा के पास समझो 50 शेयर था. गरिमा now can sell 1 share. She can share because right now Garima is in secondary market. प्राइमरी मार्केट वॉज आईपीओ. सेकेंडरी मार्केट जहां गरिमा ने सेल किया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल टुडे गरिमा हैड सोल्ड 1 शेयर फॉर 4,000 एंड हुनर को 5 शेयर चाहिए थी. एक गरिमा ने बेचा, एक शायद रहेगा यशवी के पास, एक रहेगा अमर के पास, या 2-10 जिसने सब लोग ने कुछ कुछ शेयर खरीदे. अब जो रिक्वायरमेंट था हुनर का, हुनर वांटेड जस्ट 5 shares एंड ही गॉट इट बिकॉज somebody somewhere is selling, somewhere somebody is buying. The buying and selling from each other which happens in the market is called secondary market. Is that clear to everyone? Is it clear? Yes, no? सेकेंडरी मार्केट में बाइंग सेलिंग होती है. अभी गरिमा खरीद सकती है. इट इज अप टू गरिमा. उसको पूरा शेयर बेचना है, प्रॉफिट बुक करना है. 15,000 अपना जो इन्वेस्टमेंट किया था वो रख ले, बाकी सब बेच दो, अपना प्रॉफिट ले लो. 1,85,000, बाकी 15,000 रख दो. आई हैव डन. आई हैव लाइक आई मोस्टली आई डू. अगर आई थिंक आई हैव गॉट लॉट्स ऑफ प्रॉफिट, तो मैं अपना प्रॉफिट बुकिंग कर दूं एंड देन लेट मी एंजॉय विद अदर स्टॉक. There are companies who did not perform or perform so bad. कुछ 40-50 रुपए का स्टॉक था, आज के दिन इट इज नॉट इवन जीरो बिकॉज ब्लैक लिस्ट हो चुकी है, कंपनी को भगा दिया है एंड इट इज नोवेयर. तो पब्लिक ने जो 15,000 भी किया होगा ना, जीरो हो चुका है. अगर उनको लगता रहेगा कि 6-7 साल बाद जरा देखूं तो मेरा पैसा कहाँ गया, इट इज नोवेयर. देयर आर कंपनीज. तो दोज कंपनीज अगेन दे आर डेंजरस. आपको क्या देख के आईपीओज में भी करना चाहिए कहीं. आई ऑलवेज से व्हेन यू सी आईपीओज ऑल्सो, आपको आईपीओ का जो भी कंपनी है, लाइक जोमेटो हैड कम विद द आईपीओ. जोमेटो का भी दे हैड स्टोरीज ऑफ लास्ट 10 years. ट्राई टू रीड द बैलेंस शीट, ट्राई टू रीड द डेट. उनका कितना लोन है, कितना दे वर एबल टू रीपे इट. their branding, their marketing, their management, everything matters most. एंड अकॉर्डिंगली यू नीड टू. और हाँ, जब भी पेपर में अगर आप जो भी आप लोगों में से आज देखा, आई थिंक ईटी आप पढ़ते हो, आप इफ यू सी एनी आईपीओ जस्ट रीड इट. आपको पूरा उसमें मतलब रिसर्च नहीं करना है, जस्ट सिंपल इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज से उसमें आपको एक एक बार रीड करो. ओवर द पीरियड यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड. ऑल राइट. इसमें लास्ट पेज में एक छोटे से जगह में दिखा रहा है कंपनी गॉट 70% ऑफ डेट. उनका इतना लोन है. कंपनी हैड नो डेट, उनको ही लोन नहीं है. ये इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. कितने साल से कंपनी ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टेंस है, उनका रेवेन्यू क्या है, उनका प्रॉफिट रेशियो क्या है, उनका सीएजीआर क्या है. ठीक है, ये सीएजीआर एंड ऑल. कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट आई थिंक आपको आज बताया गया था ना, बताया आपको कंपाउंड इंटरेस्ट एंड इन्फ्लेशन टुडे. आई जस्ट मिस्ड इन बिटवीन. yes yeah, so absolutely. So there are so many stories. Companies का there I know personally 2-3 companies जिनका दाम 295 था and now it is 190, and those who were 90-80s में nowhere. बहुत सारे companies, and it is extremely risky to bid in IPOs also. But if it is a good IPO, again, see, I showed you the magic of the IPO. Proper analysis is very. Yeah, see, is there any corruption in buying and selling option? No, there is no corruption as such. Corruption नहीं होता है इसमें गरिमा. See now, एक तो market volatility already it's high if you see, and buying and selling हमेशा it is there, it is already there. It depends on the people's requirement. Some people earn money from it. Trading is a business. Trading is a job. It's an jobbers बोल दो, traders बोल दो, short term traders, ठीक है? So the what these people do, वो लोग क्या वो लोग corruption नहीं कर रहे, उनका घर चल रहा है इससे. तो वो लोग दे बाय दे सेल आर्बिट्रेज का देयर इज एन कॉल वर्ड कॉल्ड आर्बिट्रेज जो अभी वो कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है आई थिंक ग्रेजुअली यू विल लर्न इन प्रीवियस कमिंग सेशन so people used to earn from arbitrage also so there were many things no, from they try to make profit so in futures and options people try to have with premium amount they bid for 2 lakh 5 lakh of rupees and of course if they can make a profit उनका 2 महीने का खर्चा निकल जाएगा and if they make a loss they are nowhere so बहुत सारे सक्सेस स्टोरीज भी है एंड सैड स्टोरीज भी है one man actually he took his life because he had bid so bad कि he had to sell off his house so there are many things to it of course आपको ये आज हम लोग और ratios तो we are not doing ratios we will do fourth or fifth session coming sessions आपको I believe market participants के बारे में होगा session and then you will get project everybody will get the project and we'll try to not to give assignment from third session onwards this may be your the last assignment which we do every session so third session you will get the you will get the project where you need to understand a company model so Anish will brief you in a group we will share the structure of the presentation in a group wise allocation होगा and then you need to work in a group ठीक है तो और धीरे धीरे आप सारे सेशन में थोड़ा सीख भी जाओगे वैल्यूएशन क्या होता है यू नो हाउ टू रीड एनालाइज द बैलेंस शीट एंड ये आप सारे मार्केट पार्टिसिपेंट्स कौन कौन होते हैं रजिस्ट्रार्स एंड what is the role of mutual funds this is all thing you will understand for now did you understand this IPO and what is difference between primary market and secondary market did you all understood wonderful everybody I want everybody saying yes and those who have still not understood wait I'll do a video call to you and then I will explain take one more company मेरे मोबाइल से ही मैं काम चला लेती हूँ क्योंकि आपको समझना जरूरी है आईपीओ प्राइमरी एंड सेकेंडरी मार्केट वंडरफुल great thank you so much so now I hope you understand secondary market में trading होता है buying and selling होता है you can buy 1 share you can buy 100 share you can buy 1000 shares लेकिन अगेन रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स के पास ऑफ कोर्स इतने शेयर्स नहीं होते हम और तुम 1000 शेयर्स नहीं बेच सकते हैं यू हैव इंस्टीट्यूशनल इन्वेस्टर्स देखो अगर आप देखोगे यू नो न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ोगे you must have heard today this week FII have they went out selling these many shares making a loss of these many crores DIIs they are still there so these all things these factors you will understand gradually या डीमैट अकाउंट अभी डीमैट अकाउंट अगर आपके पास होता है तो आप म्यूचुअल फंड की यूनिट होल्ड कर सकते हो उस डीमैट अकाउंट में आपके पास आप सेलिंग बाइंग एंड सेलिंग मतलब आप ट्रेडिंग कर सकते हो डीमैट अकाउंट थ्रू आपको एक लॉगिन आईडी मिलेगा और आपको पासवर्ड मिलेगा लेकिन आपको नहीं करना है यू गाइज आर टू यंग टू स्टार्ट विद ट्रेडिंग so of course I will not suggest you all to start trading आप लोग of course mock trading कर सकते हो मैं I will tell Anish to have one mock trading to all of you तो आप लोग को एक आइडिया मिल जाएगा ना mock trading अगर करोगे तो how it actually works ठीक है that we can do it so demat in actual in reality once you have the demat account you have the statement you जो भी transactions लोग करते हैं if I sell 10 shares today of XYZ company, I get a contract note just because I got a demat account. I get a contract note from CDSL or NSDL जो मैंने पहले ही कहा था they are the depositories. I get a contract note. I see my today's report. Okay, I have done this transaction और मुझे ये मैसेज आया है तो this is authenticate मतलब मेरे पैसे सही जगह गए हैं and it is proper. So that way, this is the authentication I can say of demat account. And what else you want to know about demat account? Tell me. Anything else? Anybody else have any questions? Can wait, rest, all can leave. Thank you so much, friends. You have any questions? You can drop in the group. You can ask Ashwini ma'am as well. She will get back to me, and we can have a separate 5-10 minute session for you all, so that your concepts get ready. है ना? It is cleared. The objective is what? Not make you the trader, but to make you the better investor for the future, so that once you have any income from any sector or any particular segment, you have second income as well, and the second income will make you the crorepati, or you can say you can get the best return. Yeah, anyone got any doubt can wait or write, or the rest can log off now. I'm done. Thank you so much. Ashwini madam, I'm done. If they have any doubt, they can ask.
Okay, ma'am.
My pleasure. Yeah, my pleasure.
Shall they like write the doubt on the group itself?
Yes, they can. They can write in a group. I can share some short audio of mine, or they can connect with me. I'll give some time. Revti is there. Revti is handling that number. So you can
Okay.
always write to her. I can have some 10 minutes, with the students in a group we can address.
Okay, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah.
So can we end the webinar?
Yes, you can now.
Yes, Alicia, please let me know your request.
Yeah, Alisha, please tell me.
Alicia.
Thanks, Alisha. Yeah, Alisha.
Ma'am, please share the assignments over the group.
Definitely, yeah. In 10-15 minutes, I shall do it. Next session, I may not be there, but Revti will be there. So
Okay.
anything happens, she will keep a track and she will send. जो भी रहेगा ना, so she will be attending. She got my login, so she is there still. So she will post the project information, everything we will share in the group, and then they can start submitting within the given deadline.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah.
ठीक है?
Okay.
Alright.
Thank you, everyone. I am ending the
My
webinar.
pleasure, friends. Thank you so much. Good day. All the best for the following sessions. Chalo, bye bye.
Bye, everyone.